Incredible. Nice work, Casey. Look at that. Look at that sunset. Wow. Feels productive. Ready for skin. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Austin Ross. I've been a mobile welder for about 18 years now, and about 8 of those years I specialized in pipeline welding, downhill pipeline welding, and now I just do mobile welding stuff around where I live, and I make videos of those projects and I share them with you here on YouTube. If you missed the previous video of us building this whole frame that you just seen, there will be a link in the description of this video or a link up in one of these corners where you can go catch up on this build so far. In today's video, we're going to be skinning or putting tin on this lean-to. So something unexpected happened to one of our columns whenever we started putting tin on the roof of this lean-to. Stay tuned till the end of the video to find out what I would do to fix this situation and what I would do differently next time. And lastly, if you're new to mobile welding or you want to get into mobile welding but you don't have a welding rig set up yet, but you want to get one set up and get experience with fabrication all in one swing, if you will, I want to invite you to check out the quick rig course over there at our trade school website, AROSSWELDING.school. It is an online course where I teach you how to build a universal welding skid that'll fit in the back of a short bed pickup, long bed pickup, trailer, whatever it is you have to use as your mobile welding rig right now. We've got digital prints over there so you can follow the prints. The idea is for you to be able to get fabricating experience while building your first welding rig. Not only that, but it's more affordable to build a small basic skid, because that's another thing that we kept in mind, was just kind of the bare basics just to get you started. So it's more affordable, gives you experience, and it allows you to just get started, because that is one of the biggest hurdles that I find with people wanting to do anything new, but getting into mobile welding. Sometimes we just need something to encourage us to take that first step. So that's the idea behind the quick rig course. You'll also find the pipe fence course, another good way to get welding experience as a beginner, over there on our trade school website, and a branding course where Kayla will teach you how to brand your small business, whether that's a welding business or not. She'll go over how to properly build a good brand foundation for your business. And with that, I'll leave you to the rest of the video. Morning, Mr. Casey.
Morning.
How we doing this morning?
Great. Feeling great.
Did you go see Bo last night? How was he doing?
Good. Goofing around.
I think it's gonna be a beautiful day to hang some tin.
That's like 22-mile-an-hour wind.
I just looked, I didn't see that.
Oh, really? I heard it on the radio coming here.
Oh God, I hope not.
That's what I'm saying.
I hope you're wrong, Hunter.
I hope I am.
Beautimous, my friend. All right, we got 2 down. $36.75. What do we got over there, Hunter? 73.
109.
109. 145. Okay. But what I want to do is check them. Yeah, see how this one, it's a little bit off. Yeah. All right, we got all our tin up here. Now it's just time to screw off. Hunter's screwing off, me and Casey are putting a chalk line so we know where to put the screws. All right, well, we got the roof on. It's not screwed off yet. We didn't get enough screws. I was kind of out of the loop on the beginning of all this because this more or less got subbed to me. So long story short, we don't have all of our screws, but and the tin wasn't the right length on the end walls here, so we can't put it up today, but still looks good and very satisfactory as far as the main roof goes. So anyway, there you have it. Lean-to. Ain't got the walls yet, but we got a 15'x60 lean-to up, so that part does feel good. You know, I'm not crazy about this 20-foot span with this 6-inch purlin. The guy really needs to put a piece of channel or something across the front to span that 20 foot, in my opinion. So that middle one there has kind of got a little belly in it, and I do not love that. So I'm even considering coming back and with something right underneath the, you know, pushing the middle up, and then putting in a, you know, piece of square tubing or something that'll stiffen that up some more, because it just, I mean, it'd probably be okay, but I just don't like the way it looks. I think it needs to be a little more sturdy, if you will. So like I said, the tin was too short for the sidewall, so the next scene you're fixing to see is a week later. We had to wait on tin. That took about a week to come in, so it's a week later. Me and Hunter come back, just me and him, put the sidewalls on, and the 6-inch channel that I thought was kind of had a sag in it was actually due to one of the posts sinking a little bit after we got on top of the lean-to whenever we were putting roof tin on it. So stay tuned till the end of the video, like I said, to find out what I would do to fix it and what I would do differently when setting posts next time. All right, so we're starting to skin the walls today. We got one piece up. Hunter's cutting this next one. That first one we measured, but this next one we just put up there. And then Hunter held it up flush with the bottom of that one, and then I just marked the top. He connected the two lines, and then he just cut it with that nibbler. And we'll just click right along. 5 sheets over here and 5 down there. We'll have some sidewalls. The more you run it, you'll figure it out, which this might be dull, but well, the way I was taught from YouTube, Kyle, off of R&R Buildings, was, he said, point this like, which you were doing, just naturally, I could tell you were doing a little bit, but if it ain't going right, try to either angle it this way or this way, you know what I mean? Like, but try to keep it square with it, and when you get to this, you know what I mean, turn it up, and then turn, you know what I mean? Like, keep it square with the whole time. You'll like it the more you run it, the more you get used to it. Another way you can do it is screw these on here and then go through there with that nibbler and cut them off. You know what I mean? Really? Yeah. Just kind of however you want to do it. Well, and what the project is, sometimes you can't do that depending on how it all goes together. Four and a quarter, 49. 49, 4 and a quarter. 4 and a quarter, 49. Oh yeah, I trust you. Like if this was your barn, you was here this morning, what would you do? Just, you know what I mean? Just
figured,
just
yeah.
tackle it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think in today's world, with the internet and the expectation of those of us that are my age and younger, like yourself, I think there's too much pressure on making sure we do stuff right because we should know. You know what I mean? There's the internet. There's, you know, all this pressure of needing to know how to do something, and there shouldn't be that pressure. I think, you know what I mean, we still need to give ourselves grace and learn, you know what I mean, like let ourselves fail and just learn from it, you know. I mean, I'm speaking from experience because I get that anxiety around messing up. I mean, you hear me beat myself up all the time. I'm like, dadgummit, should have done that. Like, you know, like, I don't know why I'm being so hard on myself. Like, just continue to do it and learn on the next one, you know what I mean? All right, I'm gonna warm my hands up again. Okay. Like it?
Yep.
Yeah. So me and Hunter are out here putting these sidewalls on this lean-to, and to keep from, or to lessen the chance of missing your purlin underneath your tin, sometimes I'll either pull a measurement or I'll take my screw and I'll push down on it, and you can feel that purlin behind it. If it's real spongy and you don't feel a bottom, that means you're not on a piece of purlin. So just pushing down on it to make sure that purlin's behind that tin, so you don't have to use as much sealant or caulking whenever you miss a hole, because I missed one the other day on this roof, so I'm gonna have to seal it with some caulking. That post there has sank a little bit, we've noticed, so I don't love that. We might have another lean-to to build for this guy, and whenever we come back, I think I'm gonna use his skid steer and cut that post off, lift the roof up, and then put whatever spacer we need in there with that same size of square tubing. That's my plan. Customer said it looks great, but I don't like how it's sagging. I was telling Hunter that I've learned that I want to pack the bottom of the holes next time and probably weld some rebar onto the post. That way it can't slip through that concrete. It was real cold that day whenever we put that concrete in, so I'm thinking hole was soft, the ground was soft here too. So anyway, we're learning. Do better on the next one. Thanks for coming along with me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something. As always, that's always my hope, is as long as we're learning, And don't forget to check out our online trade school, AROSSWELDING.school. And I hope you have an awesome new year. Prosperous new year. Have an awesome weekend, awesome day, whenever you may be watching this. Thanks for being here. And remember, learn something every day. We'll see you in the next video.